All right, guys, welcome back to From the Beach to the Bar, Jess and my podcast. If you watched the show before, you know the idea behind it. In Vegas, fun usually starts at the beach, pool parties, events, game nights. Somewhere along the way, it ends at the bar. And somewhere between the two, things happen. Accidents, bad decisions, crashes, injuries, and that's usually where the legal side of things begins. So today we're going to do a classic episode, just the three of us, breaking down some of the things happening around Vegas right now and what could turn into a personal injury case. New traffic enforcement, law changes are coming up, rising insurance costs, especially for TAMs, and some real scenarios people deal with here every day. So let's get into it. And first off, I think we're going to do a hybrid today. Just ask some questions about all of us because, we were supposed to have a judge on, but they're busy and we're somewhat busy, and so it didn't work out. But I figure we'll talk. We have some inside stories. Like the first thing at the top of that list is the flamingo abuse at the Flamingo Casino. And one of the things I always like about Vegas is that it's a really small town. And we already have some insight and some inside stories on this. Obviously, we can't say certain things, but we can have a conversation about, the stupid things people do. So, Jess, you're familiar with this whole flamingo thing?
I am.
Walk us through it. What the fuck happened?
So where is this now? Because the flamingo's gone. Flamingo Casino.
No, it's not.
No, it's the flamingo.
Yeah, it's still the flamingo.
It's
Yeah.
the flamingo from the flamingo.
What did they implode to make the A Stadium?
To wait, what?
Tropicana.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Same time.
Oh, let's talk about that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very up on curry.
A little slow today.
So walk us through what happened.
On video, they captured two drunk guys. I think they're Canadian tourists that were just having a good time. They decided that it would be a good idea to steal live flamingos that the Flamingo Casino Hotel
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and it's kind of brutal though. Like the video that shows them taking the birds.
How many did they take?
I think they took one back to their room, but they were like clipping their wings.
They injured
Right?
several.
They injured several. One was taken to the room.
Taken to the room.
How do you roofie a flamingo? Oh,
But it should be called Flores.
I know, right?
But so I mean, these are all allegations. We know the guy's attorney; he's a good friend of ours. But these are all allegations. But allegedly hurt some birds, took one back to their room where they proceeded to torture said bird.
Fucking what?
The allegations are pretty brutal. It's like choking the neck, slamming it on the ground.
Well, supposedly, he was trying to help the bird and pop the wing back into place.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Try to do Mr. Miyagi.
Oh. So, obviously, yeah, we do know the guy's attorney. He actually is a really good friend of ours. We typically don't ask questions in these situations until everything's resolved because you don't want to get either your friend in trouble. You don't want him to violate any privilege or anything like that. But, I mean, it's all on video, right?
Yeah.
And
well, not in the room where the other allegations took place, but the injuries to the other birds, the stealing of the bird, and
the initial bird napping.
The bird napping.
They have video of it.
They have video of that. Yeah.
And here's the thing, man. Canadians, you guys go hard. Like, you don't have a drink. Right. You have a bar. And so I'm sure when these guys, I'm assuming they woke up in fucking jail, right?
One of them did. I don't think they charged two of them. I think just the one guy that was handling the bird on video. I think that's the only guy they got, or only one they charged. But yeah, I know he posted bail, but he was still in custody last I checked. But he has to be out.
He has to stay, and they took
yeah,
his visa.
Right, they
His passport.
one of his pretrial release conditions were posting bail and forfeiting his passport. So yeah, he's stuck here until there's some kind of resolution.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: the way it works with criminal cases in a situation like this is you have your arraignment, which is typically a day or two after the bird napping, and then you don't have a preliminary hearing until 2 weeks to a month later. So this guy just signed on for.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But I think the RJ published his financial, not like his whole financial sheet, but the things that he put down on his NPR, his pretrial risk assessment. And it sounds like this guy makes some money.
Oh, right. Well,
he's hurting. I don't think he's hurting to stay here for.
He did hire Josh.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true. He hired Josh, and it sounded like him and his wife make a pretty penny. So I don't think they're going to be hurting to stay here for a couple more weeks.
for them.
Good for you.
And it's kind of like that situation with the whole like Iran war going on or whatever the hell we're calling it. Like you have people in Middle Eastern countries, Dubai, the UAE, places like this, where they're trapped there essentially because the airport shut down. So it's the same thing where you're just stuck in a situation where
Right.
fork out for the hotel bill, buddy.
It's kind of like what?
A little bit different.
I don't know.
Same situation.
I don't know. Would you rather be in an American prison or would you rather be shot at by Iranian missiles?
I'd
I
rather.
mean, one is because
none.
you're a criminal. The other one is
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Well, it's just like what was it? Puerto Vallarta? Was that the place where like the cartel was just taking over the streets because the Menche was taken out?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like not. I mean, I guess similar in respect to you're stuck in
Yeah.
a foreign country and shit's going down.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. You have no way to get back.
Yeah. Actually, one of our employees, Bryant, down in Arizona, he was actually in Guadalajara where it was going on too.
Was he really?
He left the day before they got El Mencho.
He missed all fun.
So yeah, he got out. So we blamed him for it. We said it was his fault. But yeah, so you just have a situation where you're now stuck. In the 20 years I've been here, 20 plus years I've been here, this is the second animal-related incident at the Flamingo. The last one, when was that? Like
had to be like
2010-ish?
10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer. But I thought it was a law school kid. You said he was applying to law school, right?
I don't remember. He was definitely either applying to law school or in law school, but because he stole this bird and it wasn't a flamingo, it was like,
What did he?
I don't know.
Was it a flamingo?
I thought it was like some weird duck
I thought it was a flamingo.
or a goose.
Why do people like stealing flamingos?
I don't know, man. Because they can't run?
And the flamingo in question was named Peachy.
The most recent one?
Yeah. But so you have these situations, people get drunk, they do stupid things. People think, oh, because I'm drunk, I can't be convicted. But no, one of the things with a crime is you have to have intent for a lot of crimes. But there are certain crimes like bird napping where intent isn't necessarily going to be,
crime.
yeah, the
I
main.
think being intoxicated, they're not really thinking about what's going to happen.
If I had an excuse for being intoxicated to get out of things,
You would be
I'd be
incident free, sir.
the Teflon Don.
But in a situation like that, I mean, from a personal injury angle, there's really nothing you could do in that situation because if the bird injured you, it's your fault because you went after the bird.
Kind of assume the risk.
Yeah. And, you know, I guess if you were like, say you had a kid and they saw all this going on, maybe you sue the hotel for negligent infliction of emotional distress.
Yeah.
But,
Can the hotel go after him civilly?
oh, yeah, they'll 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if he does have some capable finances to back that, they will.
And like you said, a couple of them went to the vet, right? To the veterinarian.
Yeah.
So you're definitely going to be on the hook for the vet bills. You're looking at a felony. So you have to stay here. But if you're convicted of a felony, you get deported and you can't come back.
And that's the thing with Vegas. A lot of people think like everything slides because it's Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, Sin City, a lot of debauchery going on. But if you fuck with something that we're known for, they come down hard.
Oh, yeah.
If you mess
Oh,
with the
yeah.
casinos, if you mess with the flamingos, like,
If you mess with any animal, I think in any town,
oh yeah.
you're screwed.
But I mean, a flamingo is kind of, it's like an adopted state animal here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What is our state animal?
Who are you talking to?
What is our state animal?
Isn't it the ram, the bighorn sheep or whatever?
Oh, it's not the Gila monster? Isn't that why they have? Oh, look at Kyle helping us out. It's the desert bighorn sheep.
That is a scorpion. Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you see that, by the way?
No, what?
All right.
The testicle one?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple.
Oh, the newest one.
Yeah. So,
Segues into.
yes, this is topical because I have lived here 20 years and I got fucking stung by a scorpion last week. That shit sucks. I'm not going to lie. And they told me when I went in there, so I get stung by a scorpion and it was in my truck and I was wearing flip-flops and it got me right on the toe next to your big toe. Toe goes numb. Tingling is like spreading up my veins. So I go to the emergency room and then they tell me that like I was only in stage 2 because my leg was numb, my foot was numb and the tinglies only is stage 2. If you start to lose like if you have muscle spasms and you start talking funny, then you move to stage
It would
3.
be awesome if they had to amputate your
No, man, that would not be awesome.
for scorpions.
But they did say we're just going to give you a tetanus shot because the anti-venom for a scorpion is
12 grand or something.
10 to 12 grand a shot. That blew my mind. It was like 10 to 12 grand.
Wrong business, man.
Yeah.
You gotta start doing scorpion
I know, right?
freaking.
But so that segues into there is a lawsuit that was filed. A gentleman in a hotel got stung.
What hotel was it?
Silver Step.
Oh yeah, where is the Silver Sevens? Is that up north?
East, Paradise and area.
Oh, like over by.
Like Firefly? Like, is that still there? Firefly? No, am I thinking about the right area?
But over on that side by like what a Hofbrauhaus or whatever.
Yeah, like where that Bahama Breeze and all that.
Oh, we know where that is.
We do.
We know where that is.
We do. But so at that hotel, somebody got stung by a scorpion. So there's a lawsuit that was filed in this situation. Now, one of the things they're going to have to prove, and it's going to be a big hurdle in this case, is that the hotel knew or should have known that they had a scorpion issue. And if the plaintiff's counsel can prove that the hotel knew or should have known that they had a scorpion issue, then they're going to be liable for negligent I mean, it's not even negligent security; it's just straight negligence, right?
Yeah. But let me ask you this, just for edification purposes. How would you prove that the hotel knew or should have known?
In that situation, I believe what they're attempting to do is raise earlier scorpion stings at the same hotel to show a pattern that, they didn't, in fact.
Right. They knew they had a pest problem
Yeah.
and cure it. Basically.
Yeah, and one.
What about pest control? Can they, if they had somebody coming in, spraying for the scorpions or whatever?
Well, that's called a remedial measure, which, usually you can use to minimize the situation. But if you're spraying for scorpions and you're still having scorpion bites, your spray really isn't working.
Well, I just meant, can they use that as a way of them being aware?
If it's pre, not post. If it's post remedial, you can't use that.
Well, I think what Tams is asking is, can they use the fact that you are spraying for scorpions to show that they had knowledge?
I think if you show that like months leading up to this alleged bite or sting, if they scheduled a bunch of pest guys and it shows that they knew they had a problem, maybe that could come in as, you guys knew. Obviously, you guys got some scorpion dudes to come over and eradicate the.
Because it's not it's not something you typically spray for, right? I mean, it's ants, cockroaches, stuff like that.
I don't know. Out
I
here,
specifically spray for scorpions.
yeah, scorpions and spiders.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I specifically find scorpion spray and I spray that everywhere. I bathe in that stuff.
But one of the things that pointed out in the article too about the lawsuit is there was a previous lawsuit, and I don't know if it was the same hotel. I think it was a different one.
It's the same attorney. I know that. It's the
I
same
think was it Venetian? I think it was one of the strip hotels. But in that situation, dude had been stung multiple times on his
on his junk.
yes. And I got to tell you, like,
Oh, I can't imagine.
oh yeah, like when they got my toe, it was like numb, but it was like also like a bee sting. Like that shit hurt. So I get to give you have multiple stabs to your testes. That's gonna be rough. Yeah, half the audience right now is cringing.
Yeah.
The other half is silently laughing.
Or not so silent.
Yeah, agreed. But so in that situation, I think that litigation's still going on too. And that case is actually, I think, 5 years old. So.
It's pretty old.
So, and there's a rule in Vegas on civil cases, if you're going to file a lawsuit, you have 5 years to get into trial. So once you start hitting that 5-year mark, judges are really pushing you to go to trial. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That trial will probably be coming up over the summer, I would guess. And then we'll see what happens. But once again, if they can prove that you knew or should have known, that opens them up to liability. And in a case where you're talking about a hotel, it's going to be at least $1 million policy, because most general liability policies, which are, your slip and falls, your hotel incidents, things like that, they're usually $1 million.
What kind of damages are you looking at? I mean, I understand it's painful, but say he didn't get stage 3 or 4, where he had to get the anti-venom.
Well, I mean, you still have depends on which guy we're talking about. If we're talking about testicle guy, I think he's got what's called a loss of consortium. And what that means is that's a lawyer way of saying that you can't have sex with your respective other. And you have a right to have sex with your respective other. And if something happened that caused you where you can't have sex with your respective other, then, and it's, to be fair, it's only if you're married, like it doesn't count for boyfriend and girlfriend, But the loss of consortium, hookers are a pass as well. It's just married people. But if you can't have sex with your wife due to an injury, both you and your wife are allowed to sue in that situation. What's that look for? Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, it's not my fault if you don't have sex with your wife. That's on you. But I'm sure all of a sudden when you have lost a consortium claim, all of a sudden you guys have had sex on the daily for 20 years. But to be fair, those are the type of cases that are a little bit sensational. So usually they'll settle right before trial. But sometimes you just have to push it to trial to get that settlement.
My wife could have been trying to get out of the sex. She's the one that was.
She put the scorpions in the room. What a jerk. Earlier today, Tams was talking about how women just in general know how to kill men and hide the bodies. And I was saying fuck Dateline, but that's a...
You said women.
Yeah, I just said that y'all know how to hide bodies.
I don't disagree with that.
Go.
I think women think about that more than men.
You're probably right.
Right?
Probably.
I don't know how I feel
I
about
don't
that.
know how often you think about it, but
I mean, I guess I thought about it, but I think women in general just think about it more. No?
what's the worst case scenario I could?
Like, how do I kill this guy and bury his body in the desert? Yeah, that's just girls that did it. I don't know.
I mean, you do have some stories. You do have some stories, sir.
I have some stories.
All right. I hurt myself on that slip and fall TikTok we did earlier, so my neck's killing me. But I'm going to power through and we're going to make this happen. Let's see. Now let's talk about Vegas news, law changes, injury trends. I will say that I have noticed that there's a lot more traffic enforcement lately.
Yeah, so recently there's been a lot of that crazy guy that was going like 120 on Charleston and caused that 3-death accident. Remember that?
Damn, I clearly haven't been watching the news lately. What happened?
His pregnant girlfriend, he was like, they were alleging that he tried to kill her.
Oh, that
He was
was
going
from a minute ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's been a couple of bad speeding crashes that killed multiple people. And that's when I think Sheriff McMahon, right? Who's our sheriff now? McMahon?
It's not McMahon.
Merrill?
I want to say it's like Mayhill.
Mayhill. God, we're dumb.
We are.
There you go. Yeah, click on that. What's his name?
Nick.
Whoa.
McMahill.
Mayhill. Oh, good call. Whoa.
Good Jewish name.
Just gotta zoom back on that one. So after those, I think it happened like within the span of a month. There's 2 or 3 really bad car crashes.
Yeah.
And I think he came out and said, "Look, we gotta clamp down on this." So I think that's why we're seeing a lot more. And I see NHP a lot now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but I see motorcycle guys just going on like the Cactus area, the 15 on that side. There's a bunch of motorcycle cops and just NHP just sitting around.
And the courts are actually making it harder to negotiate traffic like we used to. It used to just be a parking ticket, you pay a couple $100 and you call it a day. But now they're wanting people to eat points. They're wanting to not negotiate as much. Yeah, it's a lot more like, I'm going to charge you a lot and then I'm going to give you a little. So I have a feeling like traffic trials are probably going to go up in the near future.
And the DUI penalties, I think, just increased, right?
They did on a second. It's a mandatory minimum 20 days in jail now. It used to be 10 days in jail for a DUI. Now it's 20 days in jail for a DUI.
Well, and the police are getting sneaky here. They have a lot more unmarked vehicles out there. See them on Cactus all the time.
They're not allowed to pull you over in an unmarked.
Well, I don't know. When the lights are flashing.
Yeah. Unless you're doing like some crazy evading. Yeah, I don't think those guys pull you over for traffic violations. So I speed past them.
Good for you. Good for you.
Run lights and late.
Yes. Jess and I are our own best customers when it comes to traffic tickets.
Bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
So, yeah, there is increased traffic enforcement, unfortunately, during the summer months, too, and we're starting to warm up a little bit. Like, you're going to see more accidents. There are more people in town. And so, yeah, this is actually a busy time of the year.
It's beginning of March, and it's almost like 90 out. It's crazy.
I know, it's nuts. And wind season hasn't even happened yet. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Osama bin Laden.
Spring break season too.
Oh, is that starting up?
Between now and I think mid-April.
Let's go to Cabo. Cabo? Why Cabo?
I don't know. Isn't that a spring break destination? I never did those spring break things.
You lived in Hawaii, bro. Your whole year was a spring
Every day
day.
is spring break.
Jerk. But yeah, so there's definitely increased law enforcement. It also leads to them detailed to a lot more accidents. There are harsher penalties. We, as a matter of course, take care of traffic tickets for our clients. But there are certain situations where it's not as favorable as it used to be. So there's a lot of work you got to put in. Now, like I said, with increased law enforcement, and you'll have increased reporting of accidents. And, I will say that if there is an accident, it's always better if you have a police report, because otherwise it turns into a he said, she said. Usually that is a significant number of our cases is the he said, she said. It's just in those situations, 100% going to go to litigation. So you're going to have to sue somebody in order to get fairly compensated. We have no problem doing it, but it is something that a police report can solve.
I totally agree.
Unfortunately, some of the police, especially your newer guys, listen to this. You guys got to write your reports better. They're so.
Some are written in crayon.
They are.
Or bar napkin.
Yeah. Maybe there's a niner in there somewhere.
One case where they combined the driver and the passenger's names together.
They're a married couple. They're two halves of one whole.
It was horrible.
Yeah. But things I recommend: police reports, dash cams.
Dash cams.
Yeah. And another thing, building off the increased traffic enforcement, and additionally into the increased penalties that they're attempting to get in traffic matters, what does that cause? Insurance premiums to go up. Now, our lovely employee Bobby is Tam's son. What do we have? 2 accidents in 4 months?
Jeez.
2 cars in 4 months?
Yeah, 2 cars in a few months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so Tam's premiums, how much did they go up?
Just for him is 1,000.
Oh my God. Dude. I don't even pay
That's not every 6.
I don't even pay $1,000 a month.
I insure 2 cars. I don't pay
Yeah.
that much.
I think I pay $600. I have 2 cars. And I think I pay
about 5 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
My insurance premium this month is $1,600.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
And I take Venmo.
so what you see is, and like most drivers, I don't know, are you a minimum policy? I was thinking about that, dude.
What?
Like she's a minimum policy,
policy, I know.
and it's $1,600 a month.
Yeah. I think you should start thinking about bus passes for that.
But, that is one of the consequences. And unfortunately, when people do have rising insurance premiums, additionally with rising gas, additionally with a high unemployment rate, sometimes people are cutting back in places they shouldn't. And one of those areas is underinsurance. Right. One of the reasons we always recommend our clients to get underinsured motorist or underinsured motorist or uninsured motorist. They're 2 separate things. But we recommend our clients to get it. It is more expensive. Tams, you don't carry it, right? Yeah. But it is more expensive, but in a lot of ways, I don't call it free money, but it is free money. People are always hesitant to want to sue themselves essentially with that underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage. But by law, the insurance companies can't raise your rates and they can't drop you. So say you're in a situation where somebody doesn't have insurance. Say you're in a situation where it's a hit and run and they take off and you're injured. You can still be compensated if you have underinsured or uninsured motorist, but A, you have to be aware of the policy, B, you have to get it. And like I said, it does cost more, but in a situation where the other party is uninsured, you are protected. Oh, and then additionally to law enforcement, additionally to insurance premiums, like we talked about, DUI enforcement is going up as well. Penalties on a second are a mandatory minimum of 20 days in jail now. One of the things that people don't understand, and it's actually like it blows my mind, is you can be in an accident. It cannot be your fault, but you can still get a DUI.
Right. See that a lot.
Yeah. And so in a situation like that, I mean, on some level, it kind of sucks because it's not your fault and you get in an accident. But at the same time, guess what? You're above 0.08 or you have some form of drug in your system. And yeah. So you went from not only am I injured, but I'm going straight to jail.
Yeah.
And you were hit by an uninsured.
Matters worse.
Yeah. So in all those situations, there's a lot of tough stuff going on. Like I said, the solution, underinsured motorist, be aware of your surroundings. Don't drink and drive. All of those things are important. And like I said, please insure your car. Accidents are called accidents. They're not called on purposes, and so you don't know what is going to happen.
On purposes.
And if you did get into it on purposes, then your insurance wouldn't cover you anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the situation where that guy was driving 120 miles an hour and killed 3 people, his insurance isn't going to cover it because it's an intentional act. And I know we've talked about it in the past, but in a situation where somebody does it on purpose, you're shit out of luck.
And I think Warren's representing that guy, and I think the defense is that he had a medical episode. So it's an interesting take. I won't tell, but play by.
Their insurance cover if I'm hit by a drunk driver. Is that covered? Can I go after his insurance?
Oh, yeah.
Do they consider that an intentional?
No.
Like get to behind the wheel of the car? While
No.
I've been drinking?
No. And we are fortunate in this state that pain and suffering is incorporated into insurance claims. So when you're in an accident, you can add pain and suffering. In California, if you're in an accident and you do not have insurance, you can only get the cost of your medical bills. So automatically pain and suffering is out the window. And typically, I think pain and suffering averages out to about $3 or $4 grand a month of treatment. So if you're, treating for 6 months, you should be thinking 18 to 24 grand in terms of pain and suffering that you're instantly cutting out of your case.
I just found out that California is third.
They just bumped it up. They used to be 1530 policies. Now they're 3060 policy.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So their minimums, and it's funny because California, they'll sue the shit out of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But they had the lowest rates for the longest period of time, lowest minimums for the longest period of time. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it. You have all these things going up: insurance rates, traffic enforcement, DUI enforcement. All these things are going up. But in addition to that, your premiums are going up. But also at the same time, the cost of treatment is also going up. So one of the things we always talk about with our clients is when you're treating, you're essentially making yourself better, but your bills are adding up. And the more expensive your bills are, it can affect your treatment. Obviously, we can't dictate treatment. We don't dictate treatment. But at a certain point, you want to make sure that your client is fairly compensated. And in a situation where premiums are going up, you really do have to monitor, like, okay, we're hitting a number. I can't tell you to be done, but at the same time, like, you're affecting your recovery.
Right.
The counter to that, I guess, too, is that you have a situation where, I think we're hitting policy limits, which means we get the maximum money in a settlement over 90% of the time. And so, great. I mean, it's probably higher than that, but I just say 90 to be,
Ballpark.
Yeah. But the question people always ask is like, why would I sue my insurance on an underinsured? Or, if I'm not really injured, why am I suing the other party's insurance? That's not right. Those are the things we hear all the time. But there are situations where that injury is not going to show up that we talked about, and it'll come later, or a situation where, you are injured, but you're trying to minimize it. Insurance is there for a reason. And everybody thinks like, if we keep suing and all these things, everybody's premiums are going up because of the lawsuit. That's actually not true. If you look at the profit margins for these insurance companies, they're growing year after year after year. And so there is that argument that, rates are going to go up, but it's not necessarily true. In fact, we have a case, I think we're going to hit $1 million. We'll see, but I'm pretty confident we're going to hit $1 million on that case within a month or two. That's not going to affect insurance rates. So if somebody's genuinely injured, they're entitled to recovery, they're entitled to pain and suffering. And to be fair, an insurance company, even at $1 million, is not really going to be out. These are billion-dollar companies. Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
And so these things are not going to raise rates. What raises rates are shareholders, margins, and greedy CEOs. So don't protect your insurance company. Don't protect their insurance company. Even if you're minorly injured, at least get covered for the pain and the suffering and the treatment you need for that minor injury. You know, we can settle a case under policy limits, and we're not going to be mad about it if you're right, you know, if you're fixed. But at the same time, like, you know, you deserve to be compensated, even if it's just for the fact that they took your car out. You know, it's like the Australia or the Canadian guys are stuck in the country, you know, until their case settles. At the same time, like, if you're out of car a month, 2 months, shouldn't you be compensated for that?
Yeah. Right.
Well, here's the thing. You're paying insurance premiums. They're paying insurance premiums. You'd rather the insurance company just profit off of that
Yeah.
or be compensated for your injuries, your damages, and stuff like that. It's like people are like, oh, I don't sue, but so you're just giving the insurance company money.
Yeah,
Here.
give it up a pass. Yes. All right. So, can you read that far, buddy?
I can't. Yeah, I think.
What's it say?
Debate 2.
Sure.
Huh. Should texting while driving be punished like DUIs?
No,
Why?
because I text the drive.
Dude, you're horrible. Man. You're scary. You're scary.
Stop it, Jeff.
You write novels while you're driving. Jesus.
Text while doing
Holy crap.
I'm a busy guy.
I think I ride with you a lot. I swear there's like 10 minutes of you just texting without even looking at the road.
I'm looking at the
Straight,
time.
10 minutes straight.
I have 2 eyes. One on the phone, one on the road.
What are you, a chameleon?
Hell yeah. What? No, they're. Is it chameleons or geckos? What are the ones with the eyeballs that like
Chameleons.
rotate? Oh, okay. Yeah. So
What the hell? What the hell is that?
what we're doing is we have we have like a TV screen in front of us. It's a prompter, for lack of a better term. Kyle is our producer today. I love Kyle, but
my
English is Kyle's
God.
second language, and
Oh my god.
he just spelled chauffeur like get a driver. He spelled it SHOFUR.
I thought it said sulfur. Why not get a sulfur?
So you have poor Kyle with English as his second language, and you have just as blind ass trying to read the teleprompter. And so yeah, that's what happens.
That was good, man. That was
Yes,
good.
yes.
Then why not get a sulfur?
I would love to get a sofer.
So, is texting while driving as dangerous as drunk driving? I know you said no, but
No, I was saying it should be punished.
oh. So do you think it's as dangerous?
I mean, yeah, if you think about it, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you think, and it's not even like you're going to rear end somebody, which is a very likely thing that can happen. But at the same time, say you're texting, you fucking drift into a lane, somebody sideswipes you, like,
Yeah.
you should pay attention while driving.
Should phone records be checked after serious crashes?
Phone records are checked after serious crashes. And if it goes to litigation, meaning you have to sue somebody in order to do it, the process where you get information on the other side is called discovery. And during the period of discovery, that's one of those things that you can definitely request in discovery.
Right.
And
that-
so,
Just to show at the time of the crash, if you're on your phone, distracted.
yeah.
Do you think stricter laws actually reduce distracted driving?
No.
I don't either. I really don't. Like, and if you look at, you know, like, what's the benefit from stricter laws? Like, there's an argument for deterrence, and that's one of the reasons they argue about the death penalty. They say that the death penalty is a deterrent to serious crime.
Historically not accurate. Yeah.
Correct. And so in a situation where you're making stricter laws, it's not really going to reduce distracted driving. Now, should you cause serious injury while texting and driving, you can be charged with what's called a felony reckless driving, which is 1 to 6 years in prison. That's pretty serious.
That's pretty severe. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have a question about the phone records. If you're using hands-free, it's still going to show a text going out or a call going out, right? But how do they know that you weren't?
Well, that's the argument you make, right?
Yeah. As a defense term, that's what you would say is hands free. He had it up like the Uber guys have those setups. And you
Talk to text.
Talk to text. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
I mean, nowadays too, the newer cars, you can just tell them text Ben, I'm running late, Or,
Usually Ben's the one texting, I'm
or
running late.
ask your Jess, where are you?
My response is always almost there. Almost there. 5 minutes out. Do people underestimate how dangerous phones are behind the wheel?
Yes. Yes, 100%. Think about it. You're going, you're on the 15. Like, look, I've lived in San Francisco, LA, San Diego, and here. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, traffic here is not traffic. You know what I mean?
We'll come from California, yeah.
Yeah. And so you'll have a situation where, like, you'll be going 70, 80 miles an hour, like texting away, beep, boop, bop, boop, beep. You rear end somebody at 70 miles an hour. We can show you videos of accidents at different speeds. And you can see when you hit somebody at 70, that car is going to be shredded.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you have a 2-ton, 1-ton, however ton vehicle, it's going to cause some serious damage.
Yep. Depending on what kind of car, that other person could be sitting in the same seat as you.
Yeah.
After that hit.
Yeah, seriously. Or, if you're driving a low car like a Mini, or something like that, and you run into the back of a truck, or you get sideswiped by a truck, you could go underneath that thing and get decapitated. So, yes, texting while driving, it's very dangerous. You shouldn't do it. Some of us are idiots.
Wink, wink.
All right. So this is kind of a subdued episode, but we're going through everything. And then, like I was talking earlier, would you rather be shot at by Iranian missiles or, have to stay here to defend yourself in a criminal case for flamingo napping? Let's transition into a would you rather injury edition. Okay, so I'll throw some shit out and don't do your thing where I want neither. You got to pick one. Okay. From a personal injury standpoint, as an attorney, Jessica, would you rather take a huge truck accident case with complicated liability or a simple rear end crash with smaller damages?
The latter.
Why?
Well, once I saw the complicated liability, that just screams to me it could take years to negotiate, litigate, whatever it may be. A simple rear end crash, it's like we always talk about. Sometimes in business, you want to hit the singles. You want to be Tony Gwynn. You don't want to be Barry Bonds. You don't want to just hit homers all day long because it might take a little longer. You want to just have that constant turnover, the singles, basically. You want to be Ichiro, man. They're easier to do. The damages aren't that serious. They're just easier to negotiate, especially if liability is not at issue.
Yeah, and one of the things, and actually what's funny is, Paul Powell's done a series of commercials where he has the Paul Powell promise, which is that he never takes more money than his clients.
Everyone does that.
Yeah, we all do that. Like, I'm not trying to hate on Paul. Good for you. Do you. But yeah, forever we've all done the thing, or at least most of us have done the thing where you shouldn't take more than your client.
Right. And that's the way it should be.
Agreed.
I mean, the client's the one that went through the injuries, the rehab, the property damage, just putting their life on hold for some people.
Yeah.
So I don't think an attorney should take more ever.
No, agreed. But if you notice too, though, that Paul has now transitioned, because everybody does the whole we don't take more than our client type thing. He's transitioned to this idea that he'll settle your case quicker. Right? Have you seen that lately?
No.
That's his new tack over the past month. And what's funny is, and I guess we're at fault for not publicizing it, but most of our smaller crashes, we can handle in 3 or 4 months.
Well, and still, you walk away with something versus possibly walking away with nothing and losing 2 years of your life by going to treatment and appointments and all this stuff. You could be found liable.
And in a situation like that, that's a double negative, because not only are you not recovering money and you were injured and you treated and all this stuff, but in addition to that, if you lose your case, you could be subject to having to pay the other side's attorney's fees. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things we have to tell all our clients in a situation where you're going to litigation. And obviously, if we're going to take a case to litigation, we have to feel we're going to win.
Right.
And if we feel we're going to win, we'll tell you we can't guarantee a win. We're not allowed to ethically. But we'll say you do have the risk that if you don't do this, you could end up paying attorney's fees. But in a situation where we believe that it's clear liability, the other side has accepted fault, and they're arguing about the numbers, be it, they don't want to pay $1 million, they only want to pay $500,000, and our medicals are $500,000 and we want $1 million, blah, blah, blah. In a situation like that, we're going to take the case to trial because a jury isn't going to decide whether they're at fault or not. a jury's going to decide what the number is. And so it's our job to make sure they agree with us and not the other side. So, and it'll be drawn out. There's always a risk. And like I said, sometimes those singles, those simple rear end crashes are a lot more lucrative, not only for us, but for our clients as well. All right, Tams, you, how long have you been doing case management now?
A year?
So you got a year under your belt now. How do you feel about it?
Pretty good.
Non-committal.
She's doing very good.
She is recovering quite successfully, I will say that. But from the position as a case manager, would you rather handle a dog bite case with clear liability or a slip and fall with bigger damages, but not as clear liability?
Dog bite.
Why is that?
Pretty simple. If you're bit by somebody's dog, it's pretty clear what happened.
All right.
Slip and fall can be staged.
All right. So let's talk about a couple of
Dog
them.
bite can be staged. That's a well-trained dog.
Yeah.
So there's 3 Lopez's sitting here. You guys don't see Bobby because he's off screen, but you see Sage, you see Tams, Bobby's off screen. Okay. We all know, because we talked about it earlier, Bobby's gone through 2 cars. We also know, we also know that, well, you guys don't know, but we have 2 office dogs. We actually had one, but then the other one wanted to hang along. We rescued a dog from and by we, I mean Sage. She went to go get 2 Frenchies, and she ended up with a 100-pound German Shepherd. But
80.
yeah,
85.
He's
Yeah.
probably closer to 100 now.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a little chunky.
So we have a 100-pound German Shepherd, and then we have a 13-pound
About.
If that.
Yeah.
Chihuahua named Jax, and he's missing like his 2 front teeth, so his tongue sticks out like this. It's kind of cute.
It's pretty awesome.
But
It is pretty awesome.
But like, okay, thinking about those 2 dogs, we have the Chihuahua, 13 pounds, then we have a 100-pound German Shepherd. We're really not going to take a dog bite case with the Chihuahua, right?
You can get some cut up ankles,
Maybe bite your nose, like you put them in your face. Bite you.
You can't use a trauma, like traumatized, now breeded dogs. Bigger.
Tomorrow's clients that backed into the elevator seeing Knight is hilarious.
Well, Knight's like, he's not like a regular German
no,
Shepherd.
I know, but I was just like funny.
Knight's like blacker than midnight and 100 pounds. And he likes to bark every now and then.
And he likes to keep his head low, so he looks like he's about ready to charge you.
Yeah.
And he has a guttural bark.
Yeah, it's like from the diaphragm. From the diaphragm. But so, and I love that dog to death. He's a sweet dog. But like in a situation like that, I'd probably want the slip and fall with bigger damages because the Chihuahua's not going to do anything. Now, God forbid, Knight bit somebody. Yeah, in a situation like that, clearly that case is going to be lucrative.
If it's weaker evidence, so nobody witnessed the fall, there's,
Well,
you know what I mean? That's what I was saying is.
yeah, I will say though that like name a business nowadays that doesn't have a camera on the floor. We had one case that it looked solid.
We don't have cameras.
Well, we're personal injury / criminal defense firm. We're not going to have cameras in
Business
our
that you
office.
invite people in
Yes.
to
Yes,
consume your product.
correct. But we did have we had a good case against a nonprofit in town. It appeared to be a slip and fall where the client, I believe the allegation. Well, I believe the allegation is that somebody hit her with a cart, and she then slipped and fell and hurt herself, and damages were good. But then we got the video from the other side, and here's a dirty little secret. When you have a slip and fall case, they will never, ever, ever give you the video before you sue them if they're at fault. But in a situation where your client messed up, oh, they'll say,
You want it?
yeah,
There you go.
there you go. So in this situation where we were suing we were negotiating with the nonprofit, I should say. Our client's version of the facts was solid. The injuries were solid. And to be fair, when you're doing that initial consult with your client, you're going to assess, is this client a good witness? Do you believe they're telling the truth? And once you believe that and you believe they're a good witness, then you're going to advocate for them. But as soon as you get that video before you sue them, you're screwed. And in this situation, what it was is the poor woman essentially tripped over her own cart that she placed in a certain fashion. And so I think she was embarrassed, and I think that's what led her to go down the road she did. But the video was clear that it was 100% her fault. And unfortunately, at that point in time, we have to drop the case.
How would the business be held liable if somebody else struck her with a cart?
To be fair, in a situation like that, it depends. That's the short answer. You know, usually you have situations like, I know one case we've settled in the past. They had a fridge that was dumping water. And so they put a mat in front of the fridge to soak up the water. But even the mat wasn't good enough. Client slipped, fell, you know, recovered money. The one Jess and I always laugh about is there's one where we had video of, she was at like an Albertsons or a Smith's. She was at a grocery store. And you can see that little yellow bucket, you know, with the mop going right in front of her. And you can literally see the water slosh up, fall on the ground. And then you see our poor client walking through the check-through line and just whoop, boom.
She was there a minute ago and she just like disappeared.
So, but in that situation, we didn't get that video until we sued. So I guess the best way to assess a slip and fall is, do you get the video or don't you get the video?
Yeah.
Because if you get the video, bad case. If you don't get the video, good case. But in a situation like that, when it comes to weaker evidence, you don't necessarily know what you have until you get to litigation. And it is true that in a dog bite case, you know what you have because you can see it on the client. But are you really going to sue over a Chihuahua bite? Probably not.
Yeah, I guess it depends which breed bit you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Yeah. Now,
So it's basically both is depending.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, Kyle's pulling up pictures of
There's
night equivalents as we're looking at them. That one's like glossy. Look at that one. He's all shiny.
Look like you got a. Oh, that guy. The third one looks mean.
Ooh.
Jeez. The fifth one.
So, okay, don't be doing my baby Jack. Why you gotta put it?
Oh, look. And there's Jax right there with his tongue out.
He's like a Chihuahua though, right? He's not full
No, he's
Chihuahua.
a Chihuahua pug.
A pug.
Oh, is that what he is?
Yeah.
He didn't have the smash face at all.
He doesn't look like full Chihuahua.
the head and the pug body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the Chihuahua head and legs, pug body.
All right, Jess, this one's for you because it's in trial. Would you rather go to trial with a risky, high-value case or settle early for guaranteed money?
Oh, interesting. Depends on how good when you say risky high value, what are the risks? Are we disputing liability?
I would think it would have to be disputed liability, right?
Oh man.
Or maybe like they're trying to argue that you had a surgery you shouldn't have.
It really depends because if the early guaranteed money is substantial or policy limits,
Well,
Like,
high
right.
value case, I guess, would be being supposedly hit by a commercial vehicle, and there's no damages to the vehicle. There's no police report. I mean, that would be.
I guess the way to look at it too is,
it really depends, man.
for instance, the case I was talking about that we're going to settle for $1 million, I think, knock on wood. The policy is either $1 million or $1.5 million. So we're shooting for policy limits in that case. To be fair, she had severe injuries. I think it was with the rideshare. I don't know which rideshare, but it was with one of the rideshare companies. She was in her vehicle. The rideshare person just T-boned the hell out of her. Broken wrist. Her finger has had like multiple surgeries because it curved. And so she's got decent bills. And like, to be fair, if we took it to trial, we would definitely recover higher than $1 million, $1.5 million. But if you're getting $1 million, $1.5 million, why take the extra step?
Yeah.
I guess we're going to put 6 figures in your pocket.
Right.
And in a situation where they're saying we're tendering, you don't really have a choice. They're saying we're giving you the money. Take it.
Right. There's a lot of variables that go into that question. It's minimum policy case, guarantee money, sure. But if it's we both love to go to trial. It's just
True.
getting there. And if it's if liability's at risk, you're potentially gonna walk away with nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we know people that got
Yeah.
zeroed out. Like,
There's
depends on what kind of risk. If it's liability or they're arguing about injuries or damages. Oh, that's tough.
There's a very prominent attorney in town. He's not one of the advertisers. He's not a billboard guy. He had a building downtown. He just sold it to Demopolis. But he had a seatbelt case, right?
Yes, just recently. Actually.
Yeah. I think it was over the summer, but he had a seatbelt case. and I'm deliberately not saying his name, but I gave you enough hints to where it should be obvious who it is. But he had a seatbelt case, and I know they wanted to settle it for millions, and he rejected it to go to trial, and he's very successful at trial. His reputation is he always picks the perfect jury, and it works out for him. He gets very high verdicts.
Right.
However, in this situation, he rejected millions. He went to trial.
Got defense.
And he got defense, which means he lost. So what do you do in that situation? How do you, because you're talking on a case like that, he's thinking, AI is becoming a huge deal in terms of picking a jury and things like that nowadays. And so a lot of the personal injury firms, they'll have their own personal AI program. And so you're setting up this program for a specific case. You're talking easily $60,000 to $100,000 in AI just for one case.
At least, yeah.
Then you have your experts. They're going to be a couple $100,000. So in addition to not getting the millions of dollars, he's
pocket.
out at least high six figures, if not millions.
Yeah. Because I think it was a big car company. Was it GMC?
It was one of the
It
big
was like
ones.
a big car company, and he was trying to sue for, I think, 9 digits.
Yeah, and it was some faulty seatbelt issue. I don't remember the exact thing, but that's kind of in our line of work. That's the risk you run.
Yeah.
Are you going to, bird in hand versus two in the bush type situation? Are you going to take the couple million now, or if you project it to, going to $100 million, are you going to say F off and then sue? In a situation like that, even if you have a solid case, maybe the jury doesn't like you, you rub them the wrong way, they don't like your client. He essentially took a risk, and unfortunately, and it's, to be fair to him, it's one of the rare times that happened to him.
Oh, yeah.
He actually
First
lost.
in his career.
Yeah, seriously.
Because he makes a lot of money.
He has got
Gets
a
a lot of
massive building or had a massive building.
But there's a lot of variables in that question. It's not like black and white where you go this side or this side. It's a lot of variables in deciding or determining whether to go to trial. Your client has to be likable. Like the case we just settled yesterday. I did the depo prep. I think you did the deposition itself.
Yeah, I did.
And after they saw how credible and she was a great person.
Well, here's the thing. The facts
Very
of the case that
trustworthy.
we just settled, the insurance adjuster was lowballing us. And so we sued the driver and the insurance company because it was kind of insulting, the offer they were giving us. And sometimes you just have to push back because the adjusters are like, well, I'm not going to give you the money. You can get it from an attorney. You're not getting it from me. And I'll tell you the dirty little secret about that in a second. But so yeah, our client was volunteer college student, was going to youth group at our church.
Just a saint. Like,
Yeah.
and then you talk to her, and she's very sincere, very credible, believable.
Yeah.
She's not trying to exaggerate anything. So, once the insurance adjuster or their attorneys basically saw her appearance, and saw how credible she was, it's like, yeah, you guys want to settle this case?
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Typically we tell people,
Yeah.
if we're going to go to litigation, we warn our clients this could take 2 to 3 years because of the process to actually get to trial. However, what you'll see in some of the, we'll call them lower dollar, but they're higher dollar cases. We'll say usually around 6-figure cases, not your 7-figure cases. All they're doing in litigation is they're going to do a little bit of discovery, which, like I said, is just finding out the evidence the other side has. And in this situation, they did a deposition, and they saw that our client was very credible. And they instantly switched from "screw you" to "let's talk."
Yeah.
And
We're not
to
paying
be,
you shit. Hey, about that.
Actually.
Let's try to negotiate.
and one of the things the reason I brought up the dirty little secret is adjusters. My understanding of adjusters, and I'm sure it's not all adjusters, so don't jump my shit, adjusters. But they're paid a bonus on the amount of money they save the insurance company.
There has to be incentives.
So no, there are. I know for a fact there are for at least 2 of the company. So what they're doing in that situation is they're saying, you're not going to put a hit on my books, so I'm going to give you a shitty offer and I'm not going to budge because I'm just going to pass it off to the attorney and the attorney can take the hit instead of me.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Because that case, we settled for almost double what the adjuster was offering, I believe.
Yeah. I think more than double. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and this is a good question for Tams too. The next, would you rather? Because we'll hear her piece, and then I'll give my thoughts, and I'm sure Jess has thoughts too. So, Tams, would you rather represent a client with serious injuries but low insurance coverage, or minor injuries with huge coverage? Why?
Well, if you have serious injuries, I mean, depending on what you consider serious, but you have low insurance coverage, they're just going to say, okay, we're going to tender policy limits, and you're screwed.
Well,
Like, either how much money do you get in your pocket if your medical bills are $200,000 and you have a $25,000 policy with it?
yeah.
Versus sometimes what you consider minor injuries are really not that minor. You still have pain and suffering, but you have your coverage to help our clients.
Yeah, and one of the things we talk about all the time is, we get you fixed, we get you paid. When you have serious injuries and low insurance coverage, they'll just pay it out, because why are they going to mess around with it? Because if they push that case, if they try to lowball you, you can push back, and eventually, if you know what you're doing, you can open up their policy, which means that that number doesn't matter anymore, and the insurance company could be on the hook for a higher dollar amount. And we have cases all the time, like, for instance, we had a case in Arizona where a gentleman was in the hospital for 2 months. He was on a respirator. His wife was in the accident. She was in the hospital, I think, for 2 weeks. He was actually flown to where he lives, from the hospital in Arizona to where he lives. And so that cost money. I think their bills, last time I checked, were around $800,000. And we settled for policy limits, but policy limits were roughly, I want to say $560,000, because there was a policy from another country, and so you have to convert the money over, blah, blah, blah. But we settled for $560,000, but their medicals are $800,000. Now, we'll negotiate with the providers to make that number lower so our clients do get money. But in a situation like that, you're thinking, wow, I got $500,000-$600,000, but it's still not enough.
Well, and I had the client that was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days, and his medical bills were over $100,000, and here, policy limits $25K.
Yeah, and usually the way it works, the process is our clients go and they treat. Once they're done treating, we collect all their medical bills, we prepare something called a demand package, and we send that off to the insurance company to review the demand package and either pay us out or fight us on it. In a situation like that, where you have a high dollar amount, all they say is, just send me the bills and records from the hospital, and if it's above this number, we're just going to pay you. So it's an easy case, but the recovery is never going to be what is necessary to truly take care of the client. And the worst thing you can do is have an insurance company pay out and your client is still hurt.
Well, and it's minimum policy, and there were 3 claimants.
So what that means is minimum policy is a 25-50 policy. $25,000 is the most one person can get, but $50,000 is the most that anybody in the accident can get. So in a situation like that, where you have 3 claimants, what you have is you have people who are probably getting roughly around $16,000 instead of the $25,000, because you have to divide it by 3 instead of the 25 and things like that. So once again, high bills, low recovery.
But because of his injuries, he got the 25, the other 2 had to split.
Yeah. But even that 25 doesn't cover it.
No.
Yeah. And we are good about knocking bills down and things like that to put some money in your pocket, but in a situation like that, it can be rough. Now, this one's for Jess. I definitely have an opinion. Would you rather have great evidence but a difficult client, or a great client with not so strong evidence?
Second.
Yes. And why is that?
Great
Jess?
client with weak evidence, because it's a lot easier to work with someone that you can work with, basically.
Yeah.
Because our criminal defense background, we've encountered a lot of people that aren't too nice, and it's difficult to represent them and can't put them on the stand. They're not good witnesses. They're not working with you to tell you their side of the story. So it makes the case that much more difficult when you have a client that's not willing to work with you or provide help.
To assist in their own case.
So I'd rather have a great client with, smaller injuries, because we could do a lot with that. We can turn that into a lot of money, because even if it's small injuries, small property damage,
It's still injuries.
it's still injuries. And if they're willing to take our advice, let us help them get better, we can turn that into something big.
One of the things I always talk about is that the dirty little secret, when you do trials, and especially, when you do civil trials, especially personal injury trials, things of that nature, the dirty little secret is it's really a popularity contest. Do they like the defendant or do they like your client better? Like literally 90% of the trials I've been involved with, that's what it boils down to. I had one case where I got defensed or I lost because there was this feisty old woman who was the defendant, but she was like just fighting that she was at fault at all, but she was so charming about it that you're going to like her, even if she did rear end the guy and there are clear facts that she rear ended the guy. And the client tried to help, which is he went off script and he tried to say things that were in his favor, but that were easily disprovable, I guess I would say. And so if the client's like, we like feisty old lady and you're kind of feeding us a story we don't believe, in that situation, no matter what the facts are, they're going to go with feisty old lady. Yeah. And it's like, I had a case recently, a criminal case recently, where this guy's in custody and he says like, well, I want to give you some bullet points. This is what you need to do in order to get me, in order for me to win. And I turned to him and I said, hey man, I don't tell you how to sell drugs, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, don't tell me how to do my job. There's a reason you have an attorney. You have an attorney because we know what we're doing, or shit, I hope,
Oh, that's cool.
But if you're the smartest person in the room, why do you have an attorney anyways?
Yeah.
And if you're the smartest person in the room, I guarantee you a jury will hate you.
Yeah, and then that goes with the the same way with any kind of jury trial. It is a popularity contest, and you'd be amazed that when you speak to the jury after trials, you'd be amazed at what they pick up on.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and I think we talked about this with Pete a couple weeks ago, is sometimes they're on it. Sometimes they do their due diligence. They look at all the evidence. They come to a rational conclusion.
Yeah.
But sometimes you talk to the jury after a trial, and they harp on the weirdest shit. Like, we didn't like your tie that day, or there's one thing you did, and it kind of turned us off. So yeah, we didn't hear anything you said. Like, the fuck? But it's all popularity contest.
It is.
At the end of the day, even if it's 50-50, the jury's going to side with whoever they like more.
Yeah.
Regardless of the evidence, regardless of the facts. Whoever they relate to more, whoever they can say, oh, I can put myself in their shoes, or I like this guy. Mm-hmm. They're going to side with him. Doesn't matter what the evidence says.
Yeah.
Because you and I both walk people that we shouldn't have walked because they might have liked us more than the other side.
Yes. Yes. And that's why whenever you see those attorneys who are all fire and brimstone and yelling all the time, usually they're not as effective as the person who just gets in there and talks to people.
Yeah.
They instantly think you're full of shit to begin with. So if you can relate to them, if you can talk to them, then they're going to get more comfortable with who you are. I remember I had one trial as well where it was guys coming over into our client's lane, hits our client, spins out, is injured. And I had the guy on the witness stand, the driver of the other car, and he was saying that, no, they came into my lane. And so I just went through everything with him. Well, this police officer came to the scene and they said that the accident happened here at this exact spot. And this was the lane my client was in by both of your testimony. And you were in this lane by your testimony, but the accident happened over here. And all I did was like just methodically go through the evidence with him. And he just felt he was the smartest person in the room. And he just would argue with me and turn the jury off. And we got, the maximum verdict we could get in that court. It happens all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's always better to have a good client than good facts.
Yeah, I agree.
That's good.
All right. So one more thing, then we're going to head out for the low-key spring break edition of From the Beach to the Bar. Spring break is around the corner. Actually, now that I think about it, my daughter is in town.
Is it?
From college. So,
Next week? Wait, when is spring break?
well,
It's anywhere between
Starting
now
now.
and after Easter.
yeah, Lex's
Starting now for me.
Lex's spring break is now. Coley's spring break is next week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Oh,
really?
yeah, she is going to the Bahamas. She does.
I'm coming to work down back.
I was talking to our boyfriend about it yesterday.
Bahamas?
Yeah. We pay her too much.
Are
He's paying.
Are they at war with us too? I try to keep up, man. I don't know who's at war.
All right. So we're going to build off the Would You Rathers with the spring break edition. Let's do a few Vegas ones. Would you rather have a client slip on a wet pool deck or get pushed in the pool and hit the edge?
Ooh, damn. Ooh. I want to say slip because the push is kind of intentional.
Slip.
The slip is more negligent.
Tams?
I agree with the slip.
Oh, see, I would go with the pushed in the pool. The reason I would go to the pushed in the pool is there's a bunch of warning signs around the pool that say, warning, wet pool, don't run, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So there's an argument whether I'd notice and assume the risk. If somebody pushes you into the pool and you hit the edge, you have an argument that the casino was enforcing negligent security, should have been more diligent, and in that situation, the casino's on the hook for failing to provide correct security.
I see what you're saying. I disagree, though.
Okay, why?
I mean, a pool deck is just inherently going to be wet. Even with some signs saying, oh, wet pool, it's not going to negate every kind of negligent act.
Name
They
one.
still have to.
All right.
What
Like,
if it's someone dropped their drink? That's not part of the pool, and they slipped on it.
for instance, one of us used to be a lifeguard at a
You can't
pool.
swim.
Pool.
Stop it.
It's not me, stupid.
Oh,
Look to your left.
oh shit.
So Sage was a lifeguard at one of the pools in town. And how many times did you see dumbass kids running around and slip?
Probably a lot. But not actually not that much, because we'd be yelling at them to stop running.
Was it a casino pool or like?
Well, I don't know if we're allowed to say. That's why it was a little vague.
Oh.
It was on Las Vegas Boulevard, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay. Well, see, and because you have the variants of the variables of alcohol.
It
There's.
would literally depend on the situation.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. This is just. I think there's generally asking a slip, whatever. But I'm just trying to put like. I kind of do the wet pool just because it's inherently dangerous. It's a pool. It's wet. Even with signs up saying wet pool, it doesn't
Water is
negate
wet.
every. Water is the essence of life.
All right. Would you rather fall off a hotel balcony? No.
I know.
Or trip over lounge chairs at a crowded pool party?
How high is the balcony though? Am I on the first floor?
I don't know.
That
Are there,
kinda-
are there even any
Pretty
balconies?
high.
I don't know because
It's a fucking balcony.
What if you're on the second floor though? You can
It's still
survive.
26 feet.
You could still
20
put a-
feet, no?
Or would you
I
rather
thought it's 13 feet of
trip
floor.
over
I thought it was 10
lounge
feet.
chairs?
Well, you could trip over a lounge chair and break your wrist.
Get long chairs.
I would rather do lounge chairs.
Because then you can argue that maybe they should have picked up the lounge chairs.
Wait. Are we talking about what cases we would take or
Yes.
what we would?
No, but
what
nobody wants to
happened?
fall off a
Oh,
fucking
that's what I'm
hotel
saying, like,
balcony.
okay. Shit, I'm gonna fall
Fuck, you're
balcony.
pretty.
I was saying me.
I don't know. Both are pretty. Well, you got to think.
What's the liability
you gotta
about
think-
falling off a hotel balcony?
Well, you got to think that's going to be major injuries. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a wrongful death, depending on how high it is. Trip over lounge chairs.
Remember that one dude that was at Mandalay Bay and got like all tweaked out on meth and was like throwing furniture out the fucking window? Like he broke a window and then was throwing furniture out?
Oh yeah.
Because his girl, like,
Was he an NFL player? No.
no, and his girlfriend was like in the place. They're both tweaked out, and she said she was raped, but then she said like, "Oh, we were just it was a mess."
Oh yeah.
But like in that situation, if he's throwing furniture out and he hits a,
Well, it's like fucking. Was it Morgan Wallen? Did he almost hit someone when he did his like?
Oh, in
or
Nashville?
something?
Yeah. yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like, there's always interesting things, but with a balcony, like, how are you falling? How is how is the casino created an unsafe situation to where you're falling off the
Yeah. It
balcony?
depends on how high or low the railing was.
Yeah. And all that shit has to be built to code anyways.
Yeah, you would think.
So I think the falling over lounge chairs is better because then you have the argument that
You have a lot of wiggle room on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Would you rather deal with a DUI checkpoint or get rear-ended by a drunk driver?
Rear-ended by a drunk driver.
Deal with a DUI checkpoint or get. They're not the same though.
Through a DUI checkpoint, it's not an issue if you're sober.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, they're not the
I
same.
think that's a question for Ben and Jack.
Whoa, we're cutting that part out. We're cutting that part out.
Yes.
We're cutting that part out.
Yes.
We already addressed the texting.
We're cutting out that part. I'm just gassing it.
I would
Either
say
way,
I
all the
would
way
say
through.
get rear-ended by a drunk driver.
Yeah, because you're getting paid. Like, obviously, you're going to be injured, and back issues suck. One of our case managers, she actually had to go to the hospital yesterday because she's, how old is she? Like 23, 20? She's a child.
Yeah, like 24, 28.
But yeah, she has back issues. And like, that shit is like herpes. It don't go away.
It's a gift that keeps on giving, man.
Yep. All right.
Kind of like knee injuries.
That's
Actually, not true. I had my ACL and MCL replaced.
Too soon.
Totally fine.
I'm getting knee replacement surgery today,
Are you?
or an MRI. Sit though.
Yeah, I'm drinking. I'm having surgery today.
All right.
They just put something on it, all right? I don't know.
The last one is definitely for us. Would you rather lose your phone in the pool or lose your car in a casino parking garage after a long?
I've done the second one recently.
Remember when I had to pay $900 to get your phone?
Bro, you paid like $20 to a homeless dude, and every year it goes up.
It was 900
bucks.
easy.
It was like $25 and a cheeseburger. Don't quit lying.
But personally, I would rather lose my car after a long night out, because if you lose your phone, like, dude, I hope you backed it up. You know, it's in the pool, so you're screwed. You got to get a new one. Like,
I've lost my car so many times.
Dogs these days set off the alarm.
well, you just put an air tag in your car too.
Just had to do that every level. He's like,
Okay, stop.
Yeah, you remember that? What was I at Venetian?
somewhere.
I lost my car for like an hour. I couldn't find it.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I was wasted. I didn't drive though. I just had to grab something from my car. I didn't drive.
You were staying at the Venetian that night.
You said Venetian?
Vincent's there to have their car, which is
I stayed there.
No, but stalkers do that. We've had a bunch of cases. Yeah.
What?
No, but I'm saying if you have a habit of losing your car, why not just put an air tag in your car?
Oh.
You're tagging your car, and I'm like, okay, stop.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cases.
Oh yeah, no,
tagging
because
cars.
dirty little secret. What most people don't know is the cops don't really follow you anymore. What they do is they put a GPS on your car and they just track your GPS. And so criminals have
This guy
learned
goes to
that.
the bar a lot. That's what they say about me.
Criminals have learned that, and they're taking air tags, especially stalkers, and they're doing the same thing.
But doesn't it beep?
It notifies.
It notifies
if
you
you
if-
have an Apple phone. It notifies.
And it's not
you
connected to your phone. It
Yes,
notifies
it says
you.
there's one that's following you. 'Cause
Really?
we have a bunch of-
Yeah, I think
we
there
have
is.
a bunch of kids that ride their motorcycles out by our house, and it will show me the trail that they used. It says this air
It just connects. No shit.
has been following you, and it's too close to your location.
But that's another thing I want to talk about with you young pups. I'm 50. I'm old.
makes
I get it. But y'all share your location with everybody. Y'all do that, right? Yeah.
Family. Yeah, I can see family doing it.
Family, my boyfriend, my friends.
Nope.
A lot of it is safety issues.
Mm.
I'm a girl.
Answering
That's what they
it is late and I don't know where you're at. I'd like to know that you're okay. So if I can see that Sage is at her cousin's house and she's spending the night, I'm good, because I don't want her driving at 3 o'clock in the morning being intoxicated. So
I understand the family.
I have a hard time sleeping. So if I look at her location and see she's somewhere safe, then I can go to sleep.
I understand that for like the family aspect, but like the boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife thing, like I think that's weird to me. That's just weird. Do you is your wife? Do you follow your wife? Oh shit! Look at that. Oh, how many people? You stalker?
No, that's just his immediate family. He's Filipino, bro. He's got like 30 brothers.
So they're all in the hospital right now.
Attorney.
It's very convenient if Sage is like, I'm going out, meet me there, and I hit find my, and I could just say directions, and it takes me right to where she's at.
Or it's like,
Second floor
it's
LGs.
also like if we're trying to
No
meet
review.
somewhere and they're waiting for somebody and I'm like, where the f- are they?
Yeah,
I'll
I
just, like, look at
never.
their location
I think
and
it is a
I'm
younger
like,
thing though.
Yeah.
I never did that until like recently with girls. Not me, but they wanted to do that. I'm like, that's kind of weird, no? But I think it's like, I think that's what they do.
weird
We
because
almost need your guys' location, because
I don't know. No one finding me.
where are they? Are they coming in?
I don't want no one finding me.
I was only 35 minutes late today.
I was, but I was like an hour. I was an hour late.
Because you were
All right.
on Ben's time. She's like this.
I literally told the girls at the office, like, no, Ben's gonna show up an hour late. I ain't going there at 11.
What a dick. He's not wrong.
I was kind of right though. It wasn't that wrong?
All right. That's going to wrap up today's episode of From the Beach to the Bar. With spring coming up in Vegas, the pools are about to get busy. Parties are about to get bigger. Streets are about to get a lot more crowded. Quick reminder, know your limits. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Keep an eye on your surroundings. Always make sure you have a safe way home. Uber is a wonderful fucking thing. They're an evil company, but a wonderful thing. Yeah, same. Most of the cases we see come down to one moment when someone wasn't paying attention or somebody could have made a better choice. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the pools, enjoy Vegas. Just make sure you get home safe. And we'll see you next time on From the Beach to the Bar. We'll have another judge and we'll have a judicial questioned episode.